Episode number 209. Episode title.
Got some apple cider.
Oh, yeah?
I like fall season because there are some tasty foods during fall.
I suppose so.
Oh, with all the shit that's happened, what also happened? The hydraulic part of my computer chair busted. So now I'm sitting at the lowest setting with no choice.
My chair did that once or twice, and I immediately replaced it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably look for a chair this weekend.
The one that I had bought originally was like $100, so when it came time to replace it, I was like, I can get a good chair for $200, and that seems reasonable. So that's what I did.
I don't think it was it you guys? Someone told me that chairs actually have a sit rating on it. I didn't know that.
I have not heard of a sit rating.
If you look at the bottom of your chair, if it has the tags on it, it probably has a sit rating, which is measured in hours. They actually have a sit rating on chairs.
Well, I didn't know that. But yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Yes, I found that kind of interesting. Sorry, just throwing that out there.
Ash. Alright, so we'll just talk about your move, we'll talk about life, I'll make you guys talk about some Riken, and then we'll get the flip out of here.
Sure. You mean you guys are going to get the flip on to Halo, because that's been your thing.
Yeah, that's
Reach.
True. We're doing Reach.
Have you reached the end?
No.
Aren't we like a third of the way or a quarter of the way or something?
Right. I think we did 2 or 3 missions last time. I feel like we did a bunch.
3, and then we counted the beginning video, and that was 4.
Sounds right.
And then 12 total, counting the beginning video and the epilogue.
I always count those. They count.
Or I guess technically, I don't know if they count the Lone Wolf, because the Lone Wolf thing is technically after the final video.
Oh yeah, the one where you crawl through the nuclear wasteland.
Yeah. Basically, you're guaranteed to die if you just wait it out, killing a few of the Covenant before you finally die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting a few last. You gotta get your KDA up.
Yeah.
Alright then. Alright, I've got really bad allergies today, so I've been sneezing a lot. Forgive me that.
Just this once.
This is the Player 4 podcast.
Aw, damn it.
Each week as we talk about video games, entertainment, and pop culture, and bring in guests from the Rooster Teeth community.
Can't win.
Player 4 has entered the game.
Ugh. I have to do it again.
Okay.
So I had it down at 50. I was like, oh, what is that tiny voice?
This is the Player 4 podcast. Join us each week as we talk about video games, entertainment, and pop culture, and bring in guests from the Rooster Teeth community. Player 4 has entered the game.
Hello and welcome to the Player 4 Podcast. I'm your host, Tristan, aka Shagrazier.
I'm Alex, aka Chaos Black 21.
And I'm Malachi, aka Tsukikiba.
Hi guys, how you doing? I am sneezing.
Joseph is away
Tristan has
today.
allergies.
Yeah, and Joseph is away for rehearsal for a concert. FYI.
No, he's not. He's just not. He's very tired. So
Everybody was up really late last night, watching the election stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
I did not stay up late watching the election stuff because I knew pretty early on that we wouldn't have the results last night.
You know, sorry. I should look at dates because that was 5 days ago, 6 days ago.
Yeah. His schedule gets pretty fluid.
yeah, but it's currently the election's still going on, but we are not going to talk about it because we use this time to get away from all that.
Yeah. I was going to use the D&D game to get away from it. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to meet up.
Because someone had messed up cables.
Bad
Whoa.
wires.
We don't know what the heck is going on, but that router modem is effed. So I ended up caving and getting a Wi-Fi adapter for my PC, and now I'm running off of that. And it seems to be doing pretty good. I have a bunch of stuff up, and it hasn't really hiccuped at all.
Yep, I lived off of them for years while I was between Airbnbs, so I can vouch. The wireless adapters work fine.
That's good. That means now you can return next week to being the second best Dragonborn.
Just keep telling yourself that.
I will keep telling myself because it's true. Riken would take Yukikaze down.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that.
Alright, well, I think now we need to have just a sparring match between Yukikaze and Riken, see who wins.
Well, we can't now because we don't want to stir up trouble where we're at.
That's a first.
Hey, Riken
Punched a horse the last time he went into a new city.
Yeah, but I mean, it was just people. Like, these are drow.
Are you saying drow aren't people?
No, I'm saying that Riken probably has more respect of the drow's fighting capabilities than people in a city. Most
Again,
of them are pedestrians.
People. So drow aren't people.
Oh my god, okay, humans, half-elves, like every other race other than drow, that because the drow don't, you typically live up above ground.
Phrasing fail.
Phrasing fail. Alright. Malachi, you moved. Tell us about it.
It was moving. You realize you have more shit than you thought you had when you move?
Did you get rid of some of it?
Yeah, and also I realized that frickin' doing it myself was a bad idea. I really didn't ask for a lot of help. A lot of people weren't available. And I didn't want to ask my mom too much. My dad did it since I was kind of moving back home. I didn't want to ask my dad for help because, you know, they're divorced and he really doesn't want to be around her. They can get along, but preferred not to, you know.
I hired a moving company when I moved. I had a lot of warnings, like, don't try to do this yourself. Hire a moving company.
Well, it's not bad as long as, like, I wasn't going very far. Like, if I was going a long distance, yeah, I'd want to buy. I would want a moving company because they can get a big truck and they have better rates probably for it, versus me renting the truck, having to deal with all that stuff.
I mean, like, it can be a bit expensive, but I think that however expensive it is, because I think between renting the truck and hiring the movers, I think I was out maybe about $600. Like, I wasn't dead at the end of the day, and I didn't have to haul, chunks of couch up a narrow staircase, 2 stories up. We were able to just, hup them from ground level up onto the rain awning and then bring them in through a window. Which, it meant that I could then spend my actual energy arranging things for the rest of the night, so I actually had somewhere to sleep. And so, it's not cheap, but it's worth the money. I stand by the idea that it's worth the money.
Yeah, well, I have never had a moving company. Usually I've got quite a bit of help, and also, if I get a new vehicle, I'm probably going to get something that's either a 4-door or an SUV or something a little bit bigger, because I like my little car, but it would be nice to have a little more room.
Yeah, it's nuts that I don't have a car anymore. Most of my life I've had a car, and now I don't.
Wait, I forgot. Wait, when did you get rid of your car? I don't
A
remember.
few months ago, I got rid of my car.
Because you don't have to drive all around.
Even so, I got rid of it a couple months after the pandemic started. But even before the pandemic, the only times I was driving the car was to move it from one side of the street to the other. I wasn't using it, and it was $100 some odd a month in insurance, and then whenever I used it, there was always some the gas expense or a repair that needed to get done. It's just like, I am paying repair fees, I am paying insurance, I am paying gas, and I'm not getting any value out of the car.
So that was a pretty practical decision.
Yeah. Yep. It's just odd to think that now if I need to get somewhere, I have to coordinate it. And, that wasn't scary at all until I needed to get to, a doctor appointment during the pandemic. And I'm like, alright, well, I'll just call an Uber. And I realized there were, 2 Ubers in the greater Boston area that were operating. There are usually hundreds. And so I ended up having to wait an hour and a half for the Uber to even show up because it had so many other fares to deal with.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Was the taxi company running also?
No, they're all the same, basically.
Oh, okay.
Taxi's also inordinately expensive around Boston. Uber's a bit cheaper, but taxi's just inordinately expensive. But yeah.
You gotta think they. Well, no, I guess so. You'd think they'd be cheaper with the competition of Uber, but
in any event, in any other situation, if there was not a pandemic, it would not have been a problem to get over there, because I would have taken a train, or I could have grabbed an Uber in 5 minutes, because the Uber would have been running normal. But just suddenly I didn't have my car, and I had to rely on I wasn't going to take the train because it would put me in contact with other people. And so I was like, I can take the Uber, because while people use the car, I can disinfect, and I don't have to be sitting there with somebody. It's still dangerous, but I came out okay. I didn't get infected. But yeah, it was, that was kind of like wow, I don't have my car anymore. This completely changes the dynamic of my life.
But yeah, it helps that you live in a city, so
Yeah.
other methods here in the suburbs. It's a little less plausible to be able to do that.
well, since my job is giving aid to people with developmental disabilities, I have to actually go to work. So
Yeah. And that's the other thing, I've been full work from home ever since March, so... And I'm high risk, so I've been staying in my apartment, so I had nowhere that I wanted to go, I need to stay here in order to not get infected or infect anybody else. So I had no use for the car. It was just sitting there rusting. It made me feel bad because it was rusting, you know? Every time I'd go by, I'd notice that one of the tires was lower on air. It's just like, this car is suffering. It could be gone and helping somebody else, so I donated it. How about you, Alex? What's new with your life?
Playing Watch Dogs Legion, which is a new game that came out. It's the third installment in the Watch Dogs franchise, and so far it's been fun. Played the first Watch Dogs, didn't play the second Watch Dogs. First Watch Dogs was good, didn't quite live up to what they had hyped up. Second Watch Dogs I heard was crap. That's why I just didn't even touch it. And then yeah, so back to Watch Dogs on this one and enjoying it. And hopefully on Friday I will be getting a 65-inch 4K TV to get ready for the new Xbox Series X.
What? Alex upgrading hardware? I refuse to believe it.
Yep. I am upgrading my TV, hopefully. It was supposed to be a good Black Friday deal at my work, and we have a decent amount of them, but it's still first come, first serve, and I'll be working, so I have to wait 15 minutes, at least 15 minutes after we open, before I can be like, yeah, I'm going to go on break and buy this TV. So hopefully they don't all sell out in those 15 minutes.
Man, I imagine that people are out and about where you are, so anything could happen.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how many people are actually paying attention, because like places like Walmart and Target and all that, because they don't want to have literally everyone try to come all get packed in on strictly Black Friday.
Are they going to
They-
use, like,
they-
a limitation at all? Are they going to set up a max capacity?
I don't quite know. I'm assuming that's probably what they're gonna do, and it's just gonna be like, once that capacity hits, you're gonna have to just wait until people leave, and then they'll let more people in.
That's going to go
But
so poorly.
they're trying to, I think, ease that by having deals that they may have had on just Black Friday / that weekend, and they have they're spreading it out throughout the month.
Mm.
So there might not be as many like major deals on actual Black Friday, so that will keep people from all lining up and trying to pack in there by being like, here's all these deals instead over the course of the month, so that it's spread out and you can have maybe a better chance of getting what you want, rather than everyone gunning for the same thing.
I don't know how it's going to go here. Like, Massachusetts has been one of the better behaved states when it comes to lockdown strategy, but it's still a big commercial, cosmopolitan area.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big metropolitan area, and so, I don't know, Black Friday rolls around and people could lose their minds. I mean, and just because we're, like, mostly left doesn't mean that there are no rights here. And they all will just charge out to stores,
Yeah. And that's the exact opposite here. There's a few lefts and a whole bunch more rights.
Yeah. Good luck. I'd call in sick that day if I was you.
I've made it through so far, and I'm a team lead, so that's kind of frowned upon. in that case. But we'll see, because there have been times where I wasn't scheduled on like the major part of Black Friday where it's like most crowded. There have been times where I've gotten to come in when pretty much all the rush was gone and there wasn't really anybody in the store.
Yeah, it's whatever happens, keep your distance.
I mean, I've been doing that for the last how many months throughout this whole year, so it's not going to change. Wear a mask, keep distance.
All right. Let's dive into a little chatter about D&D. Get ourselves rolling on something a little happier. For the rest of our time here.
I thought me getting a TV was pretty happy.
It is happy. I'm just sitting here going, now upgrade your computer.
Oh my gosh! I knew you were going to say that.
I was trying to avoid it, but you dragged it out of me.
I was like, Tristan's going to hear that I'm getting a new TV, and he's gonna be like, "You should have gotten a computer instead."
So what's that tell you, Alex?
I can help you.
If you know what's gonna happen.
Listen, I am planning on moving out hopefully early next year. And so when I move out and I have my own place, then I will call upon your services, Tristan, to help me with getting a computer.
I'm gonna get you a badass computer.
One that's not super expensive.
I mean, I can help. Birthday combination D&D. Birthday Christmas present for like the last 5 years.
Oh my gosh, D&D.
Tell me, what are Riken's hopes and dreams, and who is Riken's most valued person in the party? Like, who does he rely on out of everybody?
I think that's pretty easy, Tristan.
Himself.
Okay. Maybe it's a little harder than that.
It's gotta be either Vendar or Laramentis.
No, what are you talking about? It's Leah.
It's Leah? Okay, I'm surprised.
What do you mean you're surprised?
I mean, I don't see you leaning on her a lot, I guess.
I would, okay. Yeah, that's the thing. You first said something about, like, most important, and then you went to who does he lean on?
I would say rely. I was trying to say, who do you find most reliable?
Most reliable.
I mean, you're required to say you love your daughter, okay? So let's go with reliable.
Reliable, yeah. Vendar and Laramentis, but in their own different ways. Vendar, obviously, because of his attack power. He's able to slay enemies very well. But then you have Laramentis, who is more, I guess, overall strategy and has a good understanding of maybe when it's time to check out, which Riken doesn't have that understanding. He's just like, nope, I'm going to go until I'm dead.
We're all remembering that one time Laramentis teleported himself out of a fight to the death, leaving the rest of the party to die.
Yeah. But he's also teleported party members when he's needed to escape.
Yeah, he took Leah with him.
Yeah. And then he did take Riken one time when Riken went unconscious.
true. He did. He also took Riken with him that one time then when it was incredibly important to Laramendis that one of the enemies not escape.
Yes. So, like I said, Laramendis does a good job with overall strategy, while Vendar does a good job with his own strategy of killing things.
Okay. Then, who is the person you are always most concerned about whenever a fight starts? You think, I'm going to have to worry about what this person's doing in combat.
Cyrus.
Now, is that because he likes fireballs, or is that because he always dies?
Both. Like it's like I don't. Me as a player, not necessarily Riken. It's just like if I go up here to fight the enemies, and am I going to get fireballed? And then I'm also thinking, do I need to stay back a little bit? Because is he going to go down, and I have to revive him?
Remember when you were fighting those Brumdoran soldiers, and one of them dropped a sleet storm on Leah, and then she dropped a fireball on you?
Yeah, that was the first time that I got hit by a teammate's fireball, and it was certainly not the last. That became the running joke. Somehow Riken always gets hit by a teammate's fireball.
It's true. It's true. All right, Malachi.
Yes.
Who in the party does Yuki Kaze feel is the most reliable? Like, if he needs something to happen, who is he going to ask?
Like, no, or possibly get something done?
Yeah.
Probably Laramendis. If someone that's super willing to help and that I can rely on to probably help out, Cyrus.
And any examples of those times when you've been able to rely on them?
Let's see. I know some, but I also think I got some switched up. I remember the thing with the worm, us working together to get out of the big worm.
Yeah, Cyrus came in and saved you the first time you got swallowed, and then later when he got swallowed, you ran in and saved him.
Yeah. And then I forgot that it was twice.
There have been a few worms.
There has been a few worms, and Vendar has been super excited. And just he's always been really willing. He always willing to help others and do like just the things he's done to me have shown that he wants to be helpful. Laramendis, like I said, is just very knowledgeable. He is always willing to work things out, and yeah.
Who's the person you always feel like you have to worry about in combat? Like, maybe you don't know what they're going to do that could be dangerous to you or to themselves?
That's actually a good question. Riken's just a loose cannon, but he can take care of himself.
He does seem capable of taking care of himself.
Laramendis actually has worried me with his escape plan deltas that he always likes to do.
So you're worried that he'll abandon you?
There is that, because he's a bookworm and they worry about their noggin a little too much. Leah is a very powerful mage. I really like, if something got a hold of her, I'd probably be a little worried, but she can blow shit up pretty good.
I mean, remember in this most recent combat, something got a hold of her.
It did. That's true.
She teleported away.
Yeah.
And then it teleported after
her. So everyone handles themselves pretty good. Although I am Vendar sometimes, but he's very skillful. Like, his skills speak well, but if one of those damn arrows accidentally hit me, I'm gonna be so pissed because I'll probably be dead.
It would be a surprise attack.
It's a surprise that he missed. Yeah.
I would say that Yugi Kaze gets an honorable mention because I feel like he has become reliable, and he doesn't charge into combat, I would say, as readily as Riken, but he does. He has, I think, begun to take on more of a role of like, hey, I may not be a super tank, but I need to be the one to kind of take some of the hits away from the
What are you talking about? I did
range
that.
people.
I've always been doing that. I always sat at the back of the line to protect people also.
Back of the line.
I mean, in case an attack comes from behind.
You gotta guard the rear and the front. And
Remember, an attack did come from behind this time, and you lost Cyrus because of it.
Yeah.
Okay, we lost Cyrus because he went further away from us rather than just going into the dang sand.
He was afraid of the sand, apparently.
Oh.
That was very interesting from a GM standpoint, wondering what was going through the player's mind. I was surprised that he was as reticent to enter the desert area as he was.
Like, all the rest of your party's there. Nothing seems to be happening to them. Well, I'm too afraid. I'm going back into the cave.
It's like, okay. There's 2 intellect devours in there. Have fun. Oh, look, one of them devoured your intellect. No way.
This is why I worry about Cyrus.
What do you think has been the most meaningful moment for the character where you feel like they developed the most or defined themselves the best? And it could be a moment in combat, or it could be a moment in roleplay. Riken.
I think a good place that he kind of defined himself was when before they went into the Underdark, when they were trying to help the Drow become citizens of what was the
Volinar,
and kind of showing off that champion that he is, and all the sparring, and setting up the fight between Vendar and the kid.
That was a good one. That's a good point. And Yuki, what do you think has been the scene where you felt the most in tune with your character? Really choosing to do something you felt defined them as who you want them to be?
Why are you asking such difficult questions? I find every action to be a defining moment. Like, alright, how are we going to get ourselves killed this time?
Very carefully.
Well, we can't do it this way. We've already done it. Have to find a new way.
Can't become a liquid.
It's really hard for me to say, Give me a second. I'm trying to think. Because listening to Riken and trying to think about it, I failed miserably. So give me a moment.
Okay.
It's hard to say because most of the time I've been just trying to be more interactive with the party and also just trying to keep us moving and try to be a little leaderish without, because we're working as a group. We're not trying to be. I'm not leading because we're trying to figure things out. So,
has there been a moment where you really felt you did a good job at that?
No, I'm very, I'm very critical on myself. I'm not gonna. I don't have one of those right now.
Has there been a moment when you felt that Riken really defined himself for you from your character's eyes? When you really went, yep, that is the Riken I know and rely on?
Wait, who was that for?
That's for Malachi. Like, let's make it not about Malachi then. What is the most defining moment for you of Riken? What is that scene you think of whenever somebody says Riken to you?
There's so much. We've been doing this for so many years. I'm trying to dig through my memory and think of like what we did where.
I mean, there was that time when he got the armor and didn't talk to anybody about what was going on. Just just got naked and put it on.
I wasn't there for that. Or was it? Wait, are you talking about this current armor? Or the
His current armor.
Yeah.
His current armor. When you went and fought the Lich after you defeated the Lich and the gem, the little sarcophagus with the gem inside it exploded. When the party was still regrouping around stupid Laramendas, that was when he had this pendant in his hand. And he just suddenly took off all of his armor and all of his clothing, and he put the pendant over his neck, and people were like, hey, what are you doing? And then he just started speaking another language in front of them.
That's a very good point.
The magical girl transformed.
Like, interacting with my clan was a big part of my character. And I did feel a little.
What comes to my mind, I think of Ikikaze.
What comes to mind when you think of Yukikaze?
That's what I was gonna say. When I think of Yukikaze was when we were with your clan and just the dialogue you had with Yukikaze's father.
Ryuzaki.
Yeah.
I did really enjoy that. And I also felt like I could have capitalized on more of that stuff too. It's one of those things I've been developing as I roleplay is just knowing where I want to step in and how I really it's kind of brush away a little shyness,
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm trying to think. Trying to think of what I find was the most defining because I have noticed there have been a lot of times where I've sat back because there are a lot of us playing, and I let things slide too much when I really should speak up. There was one moment I feel I know I want to mention, but I can't think of it.
Can you think of what happened around it, or maybe what time period it was in? I can help.
Maybe.
Was it recent?
No. I feel it's a little older.
Was it around the time that you faced the Beholder?
That was just craziness, but
Was it around the time that you faced the Necromancer?
And I wouldn't say that was a good moment there because we lost Bruenor, so that there's no great things out of there.
But
I got lucky
remember,
to get my ass-
yeah, but remember, you did save the rest of the party by communicating with the Earth Elemental.
got really fucking lucky that I don't know. We still did never figure out why I had that language written down. I know we picked it though.
Yeah.
Like I specifically remember sitting with you and doing it,
It's fine.
but we don't know where it came from.
I know where it came from.
All right. Yeah, maybe I'll have to save it for. We should actually like sit down and like write down our favorite moments out of the adventure and like say or have another podcast where we mention it.
I already know Riken's favorite moment. When he went Cuisinart on that Behir.
Oh my gosh, that was. Whoa! Just thinking about it again. All that damage.
Was it titillating?
I do think...
It's a Riken boner right there.
Yeah, I think you got a Riken boner.
I think, yeah, I don't think Vendar still hasn't even gotten to that amount yet. The highest damage total.
He might not have yet. It's entirely possible that he has not, but you have the you have the impressive armor.
I did have the poison plus the armor plus the smitage.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was that was a big deal. You wrecked that poor Behir. I was so excited about that monster. Like, these are really cool enemies. It comes in and
last
it lasts like 3 rounds.
Yeah, 3 rounds. I mean,
I think it demolished Laramentis on its first turn.
Did it electrocute Laramentis?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You know, it was the Tootsie Roll setting you never got to. 1, 2, 3.
3. Yeah, that was a pretty epic scene. I like that. There have been a lot of epic things. And again, as always, my only regret is that I don't have the entirety of the story on record. I know that back when we started, I was not a great DM yet. I mean, still not, but you know, much worse.
Well, you're developing how you wanted your method of DMing. You were developing it.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily bad.
And you know, we still needed to even with those old recordings, I can hear like, okay, I can see what I need to improve here. So, but I would still like to have access. You know, I wish I had access to real recordings of those sessions. Like I have what I wrote down, which is okay, but you know, yeah. Just when you and Vendar Riken fought the orcs that were in the hot spring.
Yeah.
Or the giants that you didn't smite.
Oh, the giants that Riken didn't smite.
Or the
chain reaction of
the chain reaction of people getting liquefied. Yeah. Or or the dire wolves that almost like TKO'd the party.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the wizard had suggestion. So there have been a lot of great moments. I think honestly, the moment I regret missing a recording of the most is the conversation between Vendar and Lilith when Vendar learned about his father's murder. That's the conversation I wish I had a recording of. The most.
Yeah, that's sad. It's one of the most pivotal moments. And don't have anything for it now.
No. And I committed to that scene, too. I was role-playing my heart out. Riken was part of the party. Riken Yukikaze was part of the party. Malachi, do you remember that?
Yes.
When his sister told him about the horrible night that their father was killed in front of her, and then he admitted that he was responsible for it happening.
Yes. That was a lot to take in. It was pretty intense.
I wish I had that scene recorded. I did not expect him to cop to it. Like, you are playing a class that is designed around lying. Why are you telling her the truth?
Because it's his sister.
Yes. And now you get to deal with the fallout of that decision. Alright. I don't think I'm getting any more useful stuff out of you two for tonight. Thank you for answering my questions. I'm always intrigued to know what things you are enjoying or concerned about when we play, what aspects of your character you want to emphasize, so that's why I ask these questions.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking us. They were very it was interesting trying to figure out, kind of looking back at all the things that we've done to try to find the answer that we thought best fits them.
When you play as long as we have, you gotta you gotta remind people, you guys have done some pretty crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
4 years and going strong. A lot of time.
That it is.
But as far as I know, everybody's still having fun, so away we go until we find and fight the dragons. Gotta kill Bala, right?
Woo! Time to slay Bala.
Go right now. Alright.
Oh, we gotta get Yukikaze's stuff first.
Yeah, it's time to get the flip out of here, and you guys are gonna go flip out of a Halo.
Definitely gonna flip out at Halo. It's constantly screwing me out of stuff. Like, I didn't know in the first mission you were supposed to kill the Moas. I was, like, leaving them alone because, like, they're poor, defenseless, dumbass birds.
I mean, you're not supposed to. It's just an achievement.
Yeah, that means you're supposed to kill them.
Oh
they
God.
reward you for doing it. And so then when we figure out there's an achievement, I'm like, okay, if you see any Moas, let me know. And there was like one Moa for the rest of the mission. It's like, well, failed that. I think I got 3 throughout the mission. And you need 5 or 10? Something like that.
Yeah. I thought it was 7, actually.
That's a weird number.
They were very... Because I think, wasn't this the last one that Bungie made?
I think so.
Bungie was very into the number 7.
Ah, okay. I mean, yeah, that makes sense for a lot of reasons. Alright, enough of that. Let's get the flip out of here.
Good night, everyone.
Hashtag goodbye.
Goodbye.
Alright, you children have fun.